Matt Tramel asks another question, which I like. Said, coming from the theater world, is there a Shakespeare monologue from a film that stands out to you as a stellar performance in your recollection? Well, in Shakespeare, in film, it's hard to beat Kenneth Branagh. His output. It's just like Henry V was such a revelation because I hadn't, not to say that I am at all well schooled in Shakespearean theater. I haven't seen enough of it to get close to that. But Kenneth Branagh's Henry V and his subsequent Shakespearean films are astounding to me for the naturalness of how the dialogue sounds. And it's when you are first studying Shakespeare, it doesn't feel like it's natural dialogue. It's in this meter, it's rhymes. It's like, sometimes it rhymes, sometimes it doesn't. The meter breaks here and there. And these rhythms all feel imposed. And you end up with a lot of performances that feel like they're sort of, dancing on stones, crossing a stream, but it doesn't feel like a person saying these words. But when it's really good, because the writing is amazing, someone like Branagh and the casts he puts together can bring incredible naturalness to that dialogue. And I'm really, Branagh himself, par excellence, I'm amazed by him. But is it the Comedy of Errors with Denzel Washington? I found Denzel's American accent reading Shakespeare to be astounding because it felt just as natural. There's this way in which to Americans hearing Shakespearean dialogue spoken in an American accent sounds kind of wrong. It turns out unless Denzel Washington is reading your Shakespearean dialogue, and then it sounds just great. But you're asking about a specific monologue. I mean, the thing about the monologues is the monologues that I love, and my favorite is the St. Crispin's Day speech from Henry V. I feel like there's not a single film, I don't feel like even Branagh's or Laurence Olivier's delivery of that speech, I'm not gonna say it's not good enough, it's just too mannerist for me. I love reading that speech more than I love watching people perform it. And actually, I put my kids to bed. When your kids are infants, it doesn't matter what you say to them when you're putting them to bed. They just want to hear the comfort of your voice. So, like I said, I sang all of Blue to them at one point, just like, oh, here's something I can do while you slowly fall asleep reluctantly. I've sung the entire Abbey Road album to them. And I started reading them Shakespeare. I started reading them Midsummer Night's Dream and reading Henry V just because. So my intersection with the St. Crispin's Day speech was late. Like I'd seen it in the movie, but I hadn't really intersected with it. But then I'm reading it. I'm like, oh my God, we few, we happy few, we band of brothers, for he who sheds his blood with me shall be my brother. Be he ne'er so vile today, shall gentle his condition, and gentlemen now abed in England will hold their manhoods cheap, will find themselves accursed and hold their manhoods cheap while any speaks that fought with us on Crispin's Day. Holy cow. Yeah. And that's not from me trying to memorize it. That's just me reading it so many times that it's just in here. If you weren't a prop master builder, which other role in the film industry would you like to have done? Ian Rigby asks this question. I know you wanted to be an actor, but is there any other behind-the-scenes side of things you would have liked to have done? For Ian's part, he regrets not continuing with lighting and rigging in high school drama productions. Yeah, there's a couple. I absolutely love the kind of storytelling that a production designer gets to do. And it's very plausible that I might have found my way to art direction and production design as one potential career path. However, when Mythbusters showed up, I was working at Industrial Light and Magic, and the pipeline I was considering then was being an effects director, which is something that my friend Dave Fogler went and did. He was a model maker with me. He was a filmmaker in college, but he was a model maker with me. He was there long before I was, but Dave went on and became an effects director, worked on the Transformers films. And he worked on my favorite part of the Transformers films, which are the transformations, like freaking amazing. As somebody who has always liked big picture thinking, and by that I mean I like knowing not just what the plan is, but I like knowing why the plan is. And I believe that people do better jobs at the stuff you're asking them to do when they know why the plan is. Yeah, so I noticed that early on, that I like knowing the why, and that made it better. It made art directors like to work with me because I knew the why, or I was incorporating it, or, you know, I would, yeah. Sorry, someone's just coming in. So we're almost done, I promise. Yeah, so effects direction and or production design. Oh, and actually, look, production design was much more something that I have come to understand that I love as I've gone on to sets and interviewed people like Francois, who did Afterlife, and other amazing, Eve from Frozen Empire. I love talking to the production designers. I love watching them do what they do. I love the spaces they create. The sets, as if you watch the videos on Frozen Empire, those sets are incredible and feel so real. And when I'm on them, they make my hands itch to do the same. So I wasn't thinking about that back then. My friend Aaron Hay, another modeler from the days when I was a modeler at ILM, has gone on to become a production designer and did Cocaine Bear. Ha! Among many other amazing films. Cocaine Bear, I was so ecstatic when I found out he worked on that. By the way, I loved Cocaine Bear. It is absurd and stupid and totally worth your time. Yeah, before I wrap, here's my favorite thing about Cocaine Bear. You would imagine that a movie called Cocaine Bear would have to include a scene in which the bear finds the cocaine. Nope. The filmmakers were like, unnecessary. The title does all of our expositional work for us. Here is just a coked up bear. Enjoy the movie, everybody. Thank you for watching that video. Are you as sick of the tosses to membership as I am? Good, because here's a brand new one that I recorded today, and it's nice and short. There are 3 tiers to Tested membership, and they all offer awesome stuff. Find out about it by clicking the join link below. We'll see you there.